Okay, we said in the writing that if we have a duotet, like here's the tet, right? And then another tetrahedron on it is the duotet. We know the tet is 4 locations. We add the 5th. Now, if we add one more location to the duotet out here, we'll have 6 locations. And we said that implies the octahedron, and we referred back to the transformation of the octahedron from where it loses one tet. Okay, I'm going to show you that here with this model again. Okay, so we have the octahedron. I've put a tetrahedron on here, which I'm going to refer to in a minute, but that's just an added on tetrahedron, which actually makes the 7th location, or 7th vertex. Now we're going to transform this by moving the strut. Okay. Now we told you before in the work that we took the 4 unit volume octahedron and now have transformed it into 1, 2, 3 tetrahedrons, right? So we lost a volume, but we kept the 6 locations and we kept the 12 struts. Nothing else changed. Now, in the writing, we referred to adding a tetrahedron to this. Actually, it was a duotet here, another tetrahedron on here, and another tetrahedron on here. So that makes 7 locations, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 volumes of tetrahedron, and we have the first 4 tets in the octet in the tetrahelix. So that this is, this is the conceptual transformation from the crystalline to the organic, which we've talked about before a bunch of times. But anyway, I just wanted to familiarize you with that again. So then we can show you that the octahedron with this 1 tetrahedron on it, let's go back to it. We have the octahedron with the tet on there, is really the beginning of the octet star, right? And we have the octahedron and we have tetrahedrons on each face of the octahedron, and we come back to this this construction, which is the octet star, right? And then we showed you, which is now 8 locations of the cube, which is formed conceptually with the octet star. So you see here is the octet star right here, and then we just fill it in with these square root of 2 vectors, and we come up with this cube. And then we said that you can just stack these cubes forever to make the octet matrix. Okay, so essentially we're showing you what I consider like the cells of the matrix. This is the octet cell, but in the middle here is another structure which is Buckminster Fuller like to call the vector equilibrium. And here it is, that you can see this square face here and this square face here. I mean, this is offset in the middle between these 2 octet stars, right? It would fit right in here, right? Now, I showed you this structure before, which it is right here. The only reason this is solid is because I glued the corners. This doesn't have any structural strength. And here it is unglued, right? And I showed you before that this is the transformation model, that right here it becomes the octahedron, right? And if you do it this way, it becomes the tetrahedron, right? So that cell in the matrix is a message to us about transformation. Okay, it's only structured in here by the rest of the matrix. It's the octahedrons that are going into here. The octahedral nature that stabilizes this form. If we put enough octahedrons in here, it becomes stabilized. It's already, if you put it here, it won't twist. It still does this, but if you fill in the rest of the octahedrons, it becomes straight rigid. Okay, so that's the basic essence of the octet matrix. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show you some really interesting ways of how this forms through the implosion of the octet star.